bread. I don't know if that makes them actually evil or it makes them made of cheese. But isn't that anyways the same thing? So let's assume that our players start within Bellshire, their journey in this village, and they are tasked to deliver a letter all the way up north. And let's assume they would go kind of this journey. They could also take it from the oceans and go all the way up. But first of all, let's draw in this direction. So let's assume what would be their path. There would be this castle, or this watchtower, and maybe let's add another watchtower as well, guarding this area. They would go through that, where they would be also warned about if the forest ahead, and they have to be really prepared for that. Let's create also some form of maybe a hidden tunnel somewhere near the mountains, just in case we wanted to give them a side quest to get into the tunnels. It could also be located actually in the forest, now that I think about it. But yeah, you could think about that a bit further and come up with your own story for that part. Try to always use different sizes different sizes of trees so that it's kind of a little bit diversified. Okay. Next up, let's look what other tools do we have available. We have snowy trees. Let's add a few snowy trees around up here already, so I just remember to use them also later. Okay, we have a lot of work still to do. In order for the players to get to the capital, they would need to pass these two towering mountains. There is a pass, but they would need to really take a very difficult approach to get there. Let's also expand the snowy areas all the way down. slowly it goes away after this. Then it starts to get a bit warmer. And now connecting all these parts together. Let's try it. This color is it's a bit like water, obviously, but I would like to have a bit of a darker color. Let's see which one would work. I actually think this one might work as a road. I don't know if you can see it. It kind of works as a road. Maybe slightly. And then smaller road from here. Going ahead. Let's add a few trees. And here it would be a bit difficult. I'm not sure if the road should go all the way and become even smaller, maybe. Of course, the road maybe not even real, or maybe it's even kind of a railroad or something else. But it's just maybe the idea of it that there is a road that they could take. Then I can correct kind of my drawing mistakes by having a few trees around. In fact, let's have kind of a wintry forest. I mixed a little bit the greens and the whites, so it feels a bit like maybe it's recently snowed, but not all the trees are covered. Although it's quite fairly snowy area. And then there's like one outlier that is up here. Oh, I couldn't draw this up in the mountain. I would draw this a little bit lower. All right. So we have a little bit of a road going already all the way down here. Let's take a look a bit to the islands as well. Let's have another another nation that is established over here. And maybe they have, maybe they're a bit more militaristic and they are scheming to create a fight between the other two nations already. Nobody knows about their plan though. They are just they're just watching. That didn't work really well with the drawing, but their plan might go really well. So they have like this fortress, this establishment over here. Looks like maybe they are some form of strong wizards, or maybe they are sorcerers of some sort, and they would like to create a spell that would doom the whole land so that they can control it. Maybe it's something that they can sell as solution to the world. Adding my trees around them. And to give kind of this impression that they're a bit more evil than the others, let's also have their background, their texture for the ground a bit more red. I don't know if that makes them actually evil or it makes them made of cheese, but isn't that anyways the same thing? So and of course just reminded me that we had dead trees. Like, let's have a few dead trees around their camp. Fortified area. Just give that impression that don't mess with these guys. Or they are going to try to find ways to screw you as you go through the story. And they also have access to some ships. Yeah, maybe they just have access and control over this area. Let's also have here a lake within this tiny island. Well, it's not tiny, actually, it's bigger than the others. Let's have some fortifications as well over here, maybe some watchtowers controlling this passage. Although maybe they have been attacked. And this one a little bit fallen. Or in an angle, just to hint at it. Okay. Alright, so let's not forget where we started the journey. Over here we also need something fun, so let's see if there's anything in the catalog that can add fun. Oh, there's an orc village. Orc village, yeah. We could have this as a camp for goblins or orcs. And let's have that somewhere, maybe somewhere a little bit hidden. Maybe somewhere just outside, yeah. And also another curiosity point let's have a curiosity point for the players to discover, or to see if they would be interested to discover, let's say, around here. Because there's nothing over here, but if they're interested, they can go towards that location and then they can discover some form of a curiosity there. And for the sea, in case they wanted to go with the sea, let's add a reminder for us to add a sea monster. But we will make it not fully visible. Yeah, I'm gonna put it at 45% visibility. Then I'm gonna create a banner for, oh, I have to increase the opacity for this. Capital. Of course, the names are not real, these are just a fantasy. So in case it matches a real name, it was all by accident or not at all intentional. So the names are not names of real locations, or they do not represent actual historical any historical accuracy, right? So just to make sure. I'm not sure if these are real city names. I actually just like the combination of that. Yeah. And for the Nordens, let's have it one layer. Yeah. Wanted to have the tower being in front of the banner, so it makes a little bit of a 3D feeling. Burg means, I think if I'm not wrong, Burg means kind of city or has similar meaning. St. Petersburg is the idea, but let's have Mainburg, Main, mine pork. For now, let's have something like, oh, Starborg. I'm not sure if that's a real city. If it is, please let me know. Thought about removing a little bit of land over here. Alright, let's have also another forest in this area, just near the capital of the North. And maybe within this, we also have an orcs camp. Or it could be more of a goblin camp nearby. And also a point of interest. Maybe a side quest that could take place near this location. But it's in the depth of the forest, in the depth of the forest. There's also a few green trees around here, but the numbers are less than what we could have expected a bit more down the line, down the map. I think we had another winter themed snowy tree. Yeah, we had another one. So I'm gonna add this one as well. These ones look quite fluffy as well. I'm more inclined to kind of hide the whole village. Let's also add a few green ones again. Too much. Save to not lose any of the progress. And in the meantime, also would like to add a little bit of water around here so it's a bit more natural. But can the water be very much darker? I assume because it's really cold weather, it has to be, yeah, it has to be a bit darker. This tree's falling in the water. Alright, this setup gives kind of the hint to going to this location. Let's also add a few trees near the capital. This is our forest 2 points of interest, a town here that is not really in the game, but I think we need to connect it anyways with the road.